It's Corso and Catone. Brought to you by Corso Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Now for the real deal New England feel, Corso and Catone.
Welcome into Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. I'm Corso. Catone is here. Joe is with us in the booth, and you are watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, anywhere you podcast, you can catch us. And, of course, 790 The Score in Rhode Island. Make sure you're tuning in. And you can call us in Heated Hotline, 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S, 24/7. Anything's on the table, or send us an email in our mailbag, corso.catone@gmail.com. Hey, listen, we're continuing with our top 5 series today. We're going to be talking top 5 Patriots players of all time. We're going to be talking top 5 Celtics players of all time. Fun stuff, Mark.
Oh, there may be some arguments in this segment, Joe. Joe, there may be a couple of arguments today, Joe.
Well, I don't know how you could ever argue with me.
Of course not. You're always right.
You know? Well, we had a lot of fun with the Yankees and Red Sox.
We did. We did have some fun. We did.
So you're right. I think we're going to have even more fun with this one. So let's get started with our top 5 through 3 Patriots players. Joe, let's have it. All right, so let's jump right into this. New England Patriots, top 5 players of all time. We're going to now go, our first segment's going to be top 5, 4, and 3, or top, 5 to 3.
Okay? 5 to 3, yep.
All right, Joe, you following along, Joe?
Oh, my God, I'm trying.
Very complicated. Mark likes math, so.
Okay, yeah.
Mark subscribes to the Missoula era.
In the math. So, all right, let's start with number 5. And Mark, I defer to you. Let's go.
Okay. So this was a tough one for me because I had 2 or 3 guys that I
there
thought.
We go. Right, like immediately. Right off the bat. Right away.
What? I'm just
flip-flopping.
I'm not flip-flopping. I'm just saying this was a tough one. 5 was tough. Juwan Bentley.
For one half second, I thought I had a stroke. I really did.
That's Chris's favorite player on this current
Then
roster.
I'm going to say Landon Roberts then. How's that?
Oh, no.
Coincidentally, 2 middle linebackers. So what do you got?
God. All right. So, I was really torn here. And after really going back and forth, I chose Ty Law. Now, I'm going to tell you why I chose. I'm going to explain to you why. Now, people may be like, Ty Law. I'm going to explain to you why I chose Ty Law. So, Ty Law, everyone talks about Revis Island, right, with Darrelle Revis. But Ty Law was Revis before Revis, okay? He shut down that side of the field. He was physical. He was uniquely physical for a guy that was 5'11". Like, people don't realize the bumping and the hands, Chris, how strong he was. And he would just grab onto guys off the line of scrimmage and it wouldn't, you know what I mean? He'd knock them off their route. In fact, he's one of the reasons why, Chris, they changed the pass rules for Peyton Manning because they couldn't beat the Patriots defense. He intercepted them 3 times in that 03 AFC championship game. 3 times he intercepted them.
Unbelievable it was.
Right? It was unbelievable. And I think people forget just how dominant Ty Law actually was. Like, I think because it was the early 2000s, mid-2000s, I just think people forget. Go back and watch the tape and watch how dominant he was. And my favorite line, the great Chris Berman from ESPN, one of the lines that he always used to repeat on NFL primetime on Sundays was, "They fought the law and Ty Law won." That used to be his line on Sunday night, right? Whenever he did NFL primetime on a Sunday night, that was always his line for Ty Law. But listen,
we want to get to, and I want at the end of the segment, I want to see if we can go and see who didn't make the cut, but just give me the name of who else you had. Because if it's the same as me, I'm gonna I don't know.
So,
we didn't call each other.
I had Seymour.
Oh,
I thought about Seymour there, Chris. I really did. Because I think Seymour also gets not enough credit for how dominant he was at that position for so many years. Like people just took him for granted, Chris. He was dominant.
so
But the guy, you know who my favorite corner was all time for the Patriots?
no, but we can't do this. We don't have time
All
for this.
right.
You got your number
All right.
5 in. You know
Right.
what I mean?
5 is Ty
We're
Law.
not talking about everybody
Okay,
now.
Ty Law.
Okay, he's my number 5 too.
Well,
Okay. He's my number 5 too. I remember, and listen, I remember 1995 when he was drafted. I was at the stadium when they introduced him. I went to that, and I remember what he said. He came up. The first thing he said to the crowd was, "I'm here to win a ring. I'm here to win a championship." He said, and he did.
He
He
did.
did. 838 tackles. Okay. So 169 pass deflections, 53 interceptions. That's a lot. Okay.
That's a lot.
And 7 touchdowns, 7 pick sixes. Pretty damn good. Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time first team All Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler. He led the league in interceptions twice in 98 and 05. All decade team. And like I said, he's a Pro Football Hall of Fame, and of course, Patriots Hall of Fame as well. So, yeah, Mark, I don't think that's outrageous at all to have him at number 5 for all the things you said too. Never seen a guy, up until that point. Look, Deion's the best corner ever, but
He is.
best cover corner ever. But this guy could bump and run and spin his hips, Ty Law, like nothing I saw at the time. Okay, and I put him on at his prime. I could put him on the field today, and he would still be nasty.
Of course he would. Absolutely, he would.
Came forward. His trigger step forward. Woo, man! I don't want to be someone who ran a hitch against him because he blew him up.
You love a good corner anyway.
What the hell? I mean, so yeah, I got your Ty Law, Joe. Who do you have at number 5?
I got an interesting one because you know me, I'm not on the same level as with the stats with the way you guys do it, like savants over here. But I will say this: I always bring a different perspective, and from my perspective, I get a couple of guys who always, and this is an asterisk one.
Well, you got to tell us because Mark took all your time.
I know. So my number 5 is going to be a shared number 5, and for the same position with Adam Vinatieri. Shut up, Adam Vinatieri and Gostowski as kickers. Come on.
Okay. All right. Okay. Listen,
on number 5, but both of them, Vinatieri with that season brought us into the Super Bowl, won the Tuck game. Everybody knows that one. And Gostowski, just for his consistent, this guy, I feel, has been the most underrated Patriots of all time.
I agree with that.
The most consistent kicker in several seasons, one after another, and everybody just expected him to kick. And then when he missed one, maybe in a season, people are like, oh my God, in a one game or whatever. People, breaking the bank, just talking like, all disgusted because he did it. But it was like, this guy went the most consistent player that we had of all in most of Patriots history. Anyways, that was my number 5.
All right.
Well, listen.
It's
the toughest kick I've ever seen made in the snow. So I don't think it's an outrageous pick. My other guy was Andre Tippett, by the way. And if we have time, we'll talk about him a little bit. The other number 5 was Andre Tippett for me. But anyway, okay. So now number 4, Mark.
Okay, my number 4 is Andre Tippett.
Okay, there you go.
All right, I'll explain to you why. Andre Tippett gets lost in the shadow of Lawrence Taylor because Taylor was so dominant, and Taylor was
so true,
the greatest defensive player in the history of football. Everybody believes, right? He was that dominant.
He was, yeah.
He did things that we still have never seen done on a football field, even in 2024, right? But Lawrence Taylor, Chris, Andre Tippett had 100 sacks in 150 games. Okay, he averaged 13 sacks a season for like a 5-year span. He was as dominant as any linebacker in football, other than Taylor. He's a Hall of Famer. People forget how good Andre Tippett was because all you ever hear about is Lawrence Taylor. But Chris Tippett,
It's,
again,
listen, I that's why I had him tied at 5.
He's another guy. I know people may say, yeah, but is he really a number 4? Go back and watch the tape on this guy and watch what he did. I'm going to tell you what, he could play on this team today.
Oh, I agree.
That's damn sure. He could
I
play
agree with
outside
that.
linebacker on this team, Chris.
No, nobody got on a 90 degree like him. He was he'd get on that edge and he'd come off the edge on that 90 degree and he'd make that offensive tackles look just silly and make really bad mistakes against him. He's a black belt too, so he used that. He used the hand fighting a lot.
He did use the hand fighting. You're right. And yeah, that is a key point, Chris. The black belt. He did use the hand fighting a lot. But Chris, he was so dominant, and I always loved him. But I just think that he gets lost in Lawrence Taylor's shadow.
I agree.
And unfortunately.
I agree.
I agree with you. I had him at 4. I'm going to jump you, Chris, because
go ahead. No,
I also had him there at 4 for all the same reasons. But before you get into someone else.
No, yeah. I mean, listen, again, 2-time first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, he's in the 80s, all-decade team. And you're right, he does get just like that 85 team. If it wasn't for the Bears, they win that Super Bowl. They were one of the best teams, So I agree. My guy, you're not going to be surprised by this, but Mike Haynes. Okay. And by the way, I don't know if it's a criteria to be you have to be a Hall of Famer to be on this list. I think you should, or soon to be, because I agree. I think Vinatieri should get in the Hall of Fame, Joe. So,
he should.
Anyway, so I have Mike Haynes, corner. Now he played for the Patriots and the Raiders, and he won a Super Bowl with the Raiders. But this is a guy who had 46 interceptions. Now I thought about putting Ty Law ahead of him because he has better. Ty Law has better numbers,
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is a guy who you talked. I've heard Deion Sanders say this, revolutionized the corner position, and he could return kicks too. And he was ahead of his time at that position, Mark. Another guy that had fluid hips that could get turned around. He had 5 total touchdowns. He had 46 interceptions, as I said, 688 interception yards, which means he could go, once he got it. He was a Super Bowl champ, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Pro, 6-team, second-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, All-Decade team, All 75th, 100th anniversary team, Hall of Famer. His Patriots number is retired. His is one of the numbers retired with the Patriots. Yeah. And I have to see if, just really quick, Mark. I thought Tippett his number may have been retired. But again, Mike Haynes, again, one of the top corners in history.
Tippett's
I don't see that.
Retired?
No, I don't think it is. No.
Wow. Okay.
No, I don't see that in the stats here. But again, so for Mike Haynes, again, revolutionized to me the corner position at the time. So yeah, Mike Haynes.
Yeah,
for me,
I have no problem with that.
So
he was on my list. He was on my list when I originally started dwindling it down. My top 10. He was there.
So number 3, Mark.
Number 3 for me, and I know you said the criteria they're going to be.
I think we're going to have the same. I think we're going to have the same.
Yeah, he will be. He will be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh no, we're not going to have the same guy. Go ahead.
No, Rob Gronkowski.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And listen, the reason I say that, I know he gets overshadowed because of Brady. But if you watch how dominant he was, Chris, if you go back and watch some tapes on this guy, he's running over. I mean, he's just actually running over guys. Like it was almost like a man among like children playing.
Oh yeah.
He had 1 year, Chris, he had 90 receptions, 1,300 yards, 17 touchdowns in 2011. He added 17 catches, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns in the postseason that year.
He had 15 touchdowns in 18 in a season? 18.
Yeah. And Chris, and he had injuries.
21 is the wide receiver record, Mark.
It is. And Chris, obviously, he had some injuries, right? Obviously, we know he had injuries. But, Chris, and I get it, everyone wants to compare Kelsey to Gronk. Kelsey, listen,
no comparison.
There is no comparison because Gronk, Chris, wasn't just a great receiving tight end. He's one of the best blocking tight ends in the history of the league. It's like you had another offensive lineman, Chris, on the line when he was blocking. And he had the heart of a champion. He was washed up, beat up, needed a year off to rejuvenate himself. And he went in the game. He went on that field against Kansas City, and he made some catches in that game, in that AFC Championship game up the sideline. And he basically just said, put his hand up and said, throw me the ball, Tommy, and I'll get it. And he did the same thing in that Super Bowl against the Rams. He went down the seam and caught the ball to set up the touchdown. And I know a lot of people are going to say, is he top 5, top 3? I just think he was that damn good. I mean, I went to the game, Chris, against Chicago at Gillette. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. I was sitting there with my son, and he's doing the Gronk robot and spiking it. But if you actually saw what he did in that game, he was stiff-arming guys, running over guys. It was like, to see it in person, it was unbelievable.
Just carrying people for yards at a time.
To see it in person was unbelievable.
621 receptions, 9,200 yards, and he played 8 years with the Patriots, and that's most of that was with the Patriots. Only 8 years. So 8 or 9 seasons with them. So, and all the accolades are there. I mean, 4-time champ, all of it. So, yeah, excellent. And he will be a Hall of Famer. Absolutely. He's the best tight end ever, in my opinion.
In my opinion,
I want to hear about Winslow. He's the best tight end in history, in my opinion. My number 3. You took all my time. I gotta get my number 3.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
My number 3. Well, because we got Celtics coming on the other side.
Yeah, so, but the top 2 are going to be easy. There ain't going to be a lot of debate over top.
My number 3 was John Hanna. Okay.
Oh, whoa, 3.
John Hanna.
This number guy 3 goes way back.
It was John Hanna. Listen, 7-time first team. To me, he's still the best guard that ever played.
Yeah.
And if you're the best that ever played at that position, at your position, you belong on this list. Yep. You know?
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer, of course. Patriots Hall of Fame. His number is retired, number 73 for the Patriots. 9-time Pro Bowler. Like I said, he didn't win a championship. Okay, but I talk about someone revolutionizing a position. I know it's not a sexy position, guard, but he's the best that ever did it. His hand fighting, his base, how he could move, and that guy could get out and block too at the second level. You know, best guard to me to ever play the game. John Hanna, to me, is number 3. Joe.
Mine's gonna be quick because I had Rob Gronkowski as 3 as well.
Okay.
I will say this about Kelsey. He seems to have a little more athleticism, and his on point with Mahomes. That's something to talk about. But Gronkowski, definitely what we all talked about in stats and everything. Just the fact that this guy was just sheer power, and if he had not had those injuries, I think he would have even been that much better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Agreed. So, hey, top 5 Patriots and Pats Nation was presented by 5 through 3 was presented by Corso Law Group, CorsoLawGroup.com. We will come back. We're going to go 2 and 1. No flipping.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. Whether it's a traffic ticket or more serious issue, talk with these expert attorneys. CorsoLawGroup.com.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England feel. Okay, now we're to number 2 now. Let me give my number 2 first, okay? Because it's Gronkowski.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think Gronkowski's the number 2 Patriot in history. You know, I'm surprised you didn't have him at 2. You know, which is what I'm really interested now to hear your 2, because I thought you would have him at number 2. And just to add a couple more things, he's part of the 2010s All-Decade Team. 100th anniversary all-time team is Rob Gronkowski, and I think that's the first guy on this list. No, maybe Haynes.
Oh, Hanna is.
Yeah, and so he's on that again. He's the Patriots All-Dynasty team, first team All-Pac-10, even when he played there. And I remember him in Arizona. He was just as much of a blockhead. Going to throw him out of the club.
Throw him out of the club, he said. Yeah.
He just listen. I'll say one quick thing on Gronk. Yeah. Okay, when he came into the interview for the Patriots, he tells this story. And when he came into interview with the Patriots, he said he was beat down. He said he was out the night before, you know. And Billy O'Brien was drew up a play, did something on the board, then erased it and said, well, okay, so on this play, what is it you do? What does it do? He goes, I don't know, man. Just throw me the effing ball and I'll score. And that was it. They drafted him. And that's what he did. That's what he did. Would he have been as good without Brady? I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Mark?
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just that power. He just had a lot more power than a lot of defensemen. You know what I mean?
So again, the NFL record's 21-22. Randy Moss, right? 22 touchdowns in a season for a receiver.
Moss.
This guy had 17 in one season. So that's pretty close. Anyway, who's your number 2, Mark?
My number 2, Chris, I don't think it'll surprise you. Is John Hannah. It's Hannah.
Really? That does surprise me.
Well,
that does.
Chris, he was just so nasty and he was just an animal. I mean, the guys that he just ran over guys, Chris, opening up holes. You go back and watch the tape. He just ran guys over. And then he would go to the next level and run another guy over. Like it wasn't even, you wouldn't even think it's possible that he ran over 2 goddamn guys and he's looking to hit somebody else.
Yeah.
So he's not just the greatest guard of all time. I think he's one of the best offensive linemen, period, of all time. I would put him in the top maybe 5 of any lineman all time. He was that nasty, that physical. He just wanted, when they did the top 100 team on the NFL Network.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick said he was just one of the nastiest football players he ever seen. Belichick said he just wanted contact. He wanted physical contact. He wanted to hit somebody. He wanted to feel the contact. Belichick said he was an animal, an absolute animal. And that's coming from Belichick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Mark. I mean, the accolades are there. I agree.
With
yeah.
that, that was a tough one between him and Gronk. And I just felt as though they were both generational talents. And I don't necessarily know if you'll see 2 guys like that ever again. We still haven't seen a guard like Hannah since he retired, Chris. And I don't think you're going to see another tight end who can do what Gronk did, blocking and receiving, both.
Yes, played on the line. And listen,
that's the thing.
With Hannah, too, he played 12 years. Mark, he played 183 games. Guess how many games he started?
183.
183 games.
Yeah.
He missed a game.
He didn't miss a game.
He didn't miss a game. No, he was an animal. He was nasty.
Think about that.
He was nasty and didn't care. And he played at a time where defensive linemen, you had a lot of good defensive talent during that decade where he played. A lot of good defensive linemen. It was a defense-oriented league at the time. Yeah, you had those Washington teams, the Giants teams. You had, there were some teams in the AFC even that had some good defensive teams, the Raiders, Pittsburgh, and he dominated them every week. So, Joe, who was your number 2?
This is going to be a tough one because I had a tie, but it
a lot of ties, Mark.
He does.
There's a lot of people that I forget about. Especially too. You guys go back a little further than I do as far as some of the players, and that doesn't make a difference because they're still Patriot players. But like, I also look at some of the ones that define the game now, and I think that like somebody like Randy Moss, which is gonna beat out my number 2 tie, which the other one was Vince Wilfork, just to throw it out there.
I like the Wilfork pick.
Yeah,
I do like that pick. I like the pick.
I put Moss there for Mark for if any Patriot people in the office are watching this, listening to this, that team, and we'll get into this in another series, but Randy Moss, the numbers he put up to get, if the Patriots could find a way, draft a wide receiver like him someday, we'll have that type of team once again. And I think that having that season with him just goes to show that like it's a necessary component. And he was
and for those of you on 790 who don't know why we lost the Super Bowl in 07, that's a story for another day that I will share with you on 790. I will share it. It's a story for another
Well,
day.
Stay tuned to this top 5 series because on the Pats Nation, we're going to have, in that show we do on Sundays, we're going to have our top 5 all-time Patriot teams.
And I'll
I think
share
Mark-
with you
and
what
I think
happened
Mark
in
will share it
07
at that time.
on that show. I'll share that with you.
Joe, I like the
Stay
Vince
tuned.
Wilfork. Listen, on a lot of and before we get to number 1, who it's going to be a consensus.
I don't know about that.
Some of the guys that I think were left off the list, okay, but to me were Will Fork, like you had him here though. Richard Seymour, but Mark, you had him. Wes Welker.
Yeah.
You had Stanley Morgan, Willie McGinnis could have been, he's in there. Bruce Armstrong.
Yeah.
Gino Capoletti, another guy. And so some of those guys.
And I give you a guy, Chris, that I loved, and I honestly think he's underrated and doesn't get the credit for how good he really was either.
Nick Bonacani
is Raymond Claiborne.
Listen, Raymond Claiborne is my nobody knows this.
Oh.
Raymond Claiborne is my favorite Patriot player in history.
Okay.
Wow.
Because Chris, when I looked at this in totality, I'm like,
but I couldn't put another corner on this list.
No, he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I'm going to be honest with you. I had him ahead of Mike Haynes. How about that?
Put him on the list?
I know, but I did. Listen, but Chris, but I did. Ty Law I had ahead of both of them, so I put Ty Law on it. But I really liked Raymond Claiborne. I loved him.
But Chris, put him on the list. I put
because
on a list
because this is a list. Not of who our hearts choose.
Why not? That's
no, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that was your favorite Patriot, Chris.
Number 26, I met him too in '85.
Okay.
They're in a Special Olympics event. I met Tippett. These guys, I still got the signature. And that's why when I first started playing, I chose number 26 was my original number.
Okay.
And when I became a sophomore, we got new uniforms and they didn't have 26. And so that's when I went to the old number 24, which was my number, my son's number for all time. But Raymond Claiborne's my favorite player. So, yeah, like that. Now, number 1.
Should we say it all at the same time?
Well, I mean,
Nick, is it Nick Bonacani? Drew Bledsoe. Tony Eason. That's our number 1. Tony Eason. So, Mr. Thomas, what's his middle name? Edward?
Well, I will say this. The number 1 wide receiver is not Randy Moss. Before we get to Brady in the history of the Patriots, it's not Randy Moss.
Oh, it's Stanley Morgan.
It's N'Keal Harry. Chris loved him.
So, Tom Brady, obviously, is the number 1 Patriot of all time. I mean, and we could sit here forever and ever and ever and ever and go through it. I mean, it's miles long, the accolades. But his numbers.
You know what? We should just do a whole show about it.
Yeah. You know what? That's a very good idea. And we'll add that to one of our series. We'll put a Tom Brady show together and we'll put it out there for all of you. We'll do it. Listen, we'll put it on right before training camp. How's that?
There you go.
You know? But he had 1,200 passing attempts, 7,000 passing completions, 63% all time. He was 649 touchdowns to only 212 interceptions, 89,000 passing yards, and a career passer rating of 97. He's got, Mark, can I just go down some of these?
You have to. You have to share it with us.
His records, okay? He is NFL records.
Wait, how many total does he have? Actual
1,
record?
2, 3, 4. NFL records? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them.
10 records.
Holds 10 records, 259 wins, 7,700 completions, 1,200 passing attempts, 649 touchdowns, 89,000 yards, all records. 490 completions in a season, 2022 it was. He had 99 yards, touchdown pass. That's the longest. That's tied in NFL history. Quarterback wins 30, playoff wins 35, playoff yards 13,000, playoff touchdowns 88. I mean, absorb that.
You can't.
So then give me the numbers are the numbers. We know who he is. what did you like the most about him, Mark? Like, you say Tom Brady to me, well, I will always remember is this.
His desire, Chris, to win and his competitiveness was off the chart. It was off the chart. And that drove him to get better every single day because he was a maniac. He was an absolute maniac when it came to competitiveness and wanting to win and wanting to be the best and wanting to be better and wanting perfection. He was a maniac, an absolute maniac.
The preparation, the intelligence,
which goes with that.
It does, but to me, it was it was how prepared and his attention to detail. Obviously, his heart encompasses all of this. Okay, the desire, like you talk about, but his attention to detail and his preparedness and what he had in between the ears. Okay, I've never seen anything like that.
And where did he learn that preparedness from?
Well, I mean, they'll tell you that they learned it from each other.
Yes, exactly.
Bill Belichick and but I've never seen anybody do it at that kind of level.
No.
And now you hear the stories coming out of some of the things he did. If you go listen to that interview Mark talked about off air with Colin Cowherd that he did this week, take a listen to that because he talks about some of this.
That's the best part, hearing some of these stories now and going, oh, you find new respect for both him and Belichick at the same time.
So Brady in a recent interview says that, how was it difficult, with Belichick? Were you guys tight before a game because he was so wrapped so tight? Were you guys nervous on us before a game? And he's like, nervous? He said, it was just the opposite. He said, because we had the answers to the test. And that's how prepared we were. And he went through his 150 play call sheet and how prepared he was for every single thing that could be called. It was nuts. But that goes to what you said, Chris, about the preparedness. He was prepared for anything that would have happened on that field.
And they did that stuff on Saturday night. Nobody did any work on Saturday night. And nobody today does any work really on Saturday night. They did a ton of it on Saturday nights. So Tom Brady, he's not the best quarterback in history. He's the best football player in history. And I'll argue that to the grave, that he's the best all-around football player that ever walked this earth.
Chris, he's played the most difficult position in all of sports.
In all of
sports.
Anyone,
nobody can argue that, Chris.
Tom Brady did this at a level that no player, at least not in my lifetime and probably not my kids, that will ever play it at that level again. Ever. Ever. For that
Pat Mahomes.
Never. Not won't even touch it. Patrick Mahomes will never put 60,000 people in a stadium for a team retirement or a team enshrinement. So that was it, guys. Our Patriots top 5 players was presented by Corso and Catone. Corso and Catone Saturdays, 12 to noon p.m. Eastern. Hey, we come back. We're going to talk top 5 through 3 Celtics players of all time. Stick around. No flipping.
Mark, I'm serious. I think I lost my mind.
Certainly, it was an exciting show.
I want Murray.
That's
it.
What is wrong with you?
Get him on this damn show.
You lost your mind tonight.
That's all I have to say.
Lost your mind.
What are you writing now?
So I'm working over here. You're talking about nonsense. I'm working.
That's why we are the real deal New England Feel. It's going to be real.
Back in with more Corso and Catone. Okay, this is going to get real now. This last segment, talking about the top 5 Celtics players in history, so let's start 5 through 3 like we did with the Patriots. And let's do it in B's and C's, Joe.
Sure.
Do you not have it, Joe? Do you not have it?
I do, but threw me for a loop. Throwing the Bruins in there again.
Hit it! The Celtics are the world champions, and they have shown the world how great a ball club they really are.
Okay, Mark, here we go. 5, 4, and 3. So let's go with it. Get right into it. Who's your number 5?
So this was interesting, Chris, because the Celtics have such a history, a much longer history of success obviously, than the Patriots. I mean, just because of all the dominance with Auerbach and all those guys, right? And they just recently won their 18th championship. So, the Patriots have 6. They got 18. So, and they've had a lot of great players throughout that history,
That
right?
spans decades.
It spans decades. So that was my first thing was, okay, so how far do I go back? Like whatever you're going back to and what type of player yeah, exactly.
It's all on the table.
It's all on the table. So I'm going to say number 5 for me, and people can argue this. I went with Paul Pierce. And I know this may be an interesting pick, but listen, Pierce was dominant for 15 years. He carried the Celtic franchise, Chris, in the early 2000s when they were bad. In the early mid 2000s, they struggled to break out of the middle of the Eastern Conference, and Pierce just carried them every single night, guarding the opposing team's best wing player, using his mix of post-ups, herky-jerky drives, spot-up shooting. He'd go to the rack. He did everything. He was a complete player for an extended period of time, and because they didn't win until 08, I think it got lost of how great of a Celtic he actually was. The truth. You know what I mean? The captain, Paul Pierce. And I think people lose sight of how great he really was. And I just like Pierce because of his heart, and he bled green. And like I said, what he did in the mid 2000s to keep the franchise afloat. This is more maybe a sentimental pick for me. I don't know. But I know probably you and Joe probably don't have him anywhere in your top 5.
You don't know anything.
Oh, no.
I know more than you think I know.
All right, so let me get to my
He's
5. My number 5 is Kevin McHale. Now, I labored over this between another guy who I kicked two other guys really, but later on we'll talk if we have time about who didn't make it. But Kevin McHale, again, this is a 17,000 points. Okay, so he played from 1980 to 93, so he played 13 seasons, right? And then he coached, but 17,000 points. He had 7,100 rebounds. He averaged 7 a game. Okay, 1,600 blocks. He averaged almost 2 a game. And his average was 17 points a game. Mark, this is a 3-time champion, 7-time All-Star, 3-time All Defensive First Team, Defensive Second Team, 6th Man of the Year twice, All NBA All Anniversary Team for 50th, 75th. Obviously, his number's retired. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean, what else can you say about him? The dude he played a post game when you got him that ball in the post. He was innovative with how he posted guys up and some of those under moves that he would make to the basket. Stuff that I think would be relevant today.
Of course,
that you don't see in the game. It's a different game, but
it's a different game. It is a different game. Absolutely, Joe.
So to me, that's my number 5.
No, I listen. I laid it over, but I love Mikhail. Those, Joe.
I got Johnny Havlicek at number 5.
That's good. That's a good.
It's like it's one of those things where to me sometimes I like the more recent modern players, because sometimes they're putting up different types of numbers, and if you were doing the comparison of somebody like a Bob Cousy, we always talk about when I actually brought this up to a couple of my friends of like top 5 players. There were people who were debating somebody like a Bob Cousy. They're like, he wouldn't even be able to, get on a high school team now. You know what I mean? Now, when we're talking about all these players, but a Havlicek's definitely one of those swingmen he's got 8 championships. Like, come on. How does this guy, obviously Hall of Famer, one of those types of guys, number 5 on my list because I have a few more recents in there 4 through down, but he's definitely of all 5 all defensive teams 5 times. 11 NBA teams, all NBA teams. Come on, this guy can't beat it.
He mentioned Cousy. He's a guy that just missed my list. He was
Right?
Yeah, I struggled with Kusi because I think he revolutionized the game, Chris, the way he
Yeah,
passed the
yes.
ball.
That was I had that on my as a reason to keep him on, and then
Yeah, that was
but
tough.
I
That was,
ended up
yeah. Same
but I
thing
ended up
with me.
going with McHale. So Mark, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Kevin McHale.
There you go.
Kevin McHale, Chris, and I know you mentioned a lot about him, but in my opinion, he might have had the best post game in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
I know there was Kareem and all these guys, but as far as a post game and the multiple things he could do in the post, he may have had the best post game in the history of the game, Chris. We've never seen anybody like him since. And you know who reminds me of him a little bit, and that's why I like him, and it drives you nuts. The Joker.
Yeah.
Jokic. The Joker reminds me of him a little bit.
Well, he's got a lot more size, does Jokic. But
he does.
Yeah.
But he
But I
does
get what
remind me
you're
of
saying.
McHale a little bit. And that's why I do like him. And Chris, McHale was another guy, cocky, nasty.
he was a tough son of a bitch, man.
He was
Let me tell you.
son of a bitch. And he used to touch. His thing was.
He looked like a nice guy, but
He did, right? No. And
he
his
was not.
thing, Chris, was when people were guarding him, he would refer to it and say, "Welcome to the torture chamber." That's what he would refer to the guys that had to guard him. He was a psycho. Welcome to the torture chamber, he used to tell them. You know?
A friend of mine was a ball boy for them during that time. And he, during the late 80s, early 90s, and he got to know Kevin McHale really, really well.
Yeah.
And he said that dude was, talk about prepared, talk about hard worker, outworked the room. And he was nasty. He had those long arms, and he just outworked the room and was a nasty, nasty SOB on that court.
And Chris,
and he wanted to win, that desire.
Chris,
and
that's the thing. I was just going to say, listen, he was dominant, but nobody was truly a team first player more than Kevin McHale was.
Yeah.
He was team first. He wanted to win, and he was team first, and whatever you needed him to do,
he'd do it.
He would do it. There were a couple of times, Chris, remember, Bird was out injured. McHale scored 50.
Yeah,
remember?
put the team on his back.
He could score as many points as he wanted, but he was a team first player because nobody could stop him.
So my number 4 is Paul Pierce.
Nice.
Okay.
Just edged out, it was back and forth there.
You and I flip-flopped on that.
Yeah, 26,000 points. He averaged 19 a game. He averaged 5 rebounds a game. He averaged 3.5 assists a game. Again, basketball Hall of Famer. Obviously his numbers retired. He an NBA champion. All the things you talked about. 10-time NBA All-Star. But it's the eggs that he had.
Yeah.
Who gets stabbed and comes back and you know what I mean? Like this dude, the balls that he, the eggs that he had to play and a time where there was a lot of turmoil with this team, like you say, Mark, all the stuff, I echo it,
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul Pierce is my number
Chris,
4.
how
for
about
everything you just said.
and
a leader and an all-time leader. To this day, he's a leader on that team. To this day, they look up to him. They look to him.
How about his Willis Reed moment when he came out of the locker room with the knee?
Place
Remember
went nuts.
against the Lakers?
And he got the MVP.
The finals?
No, wait. He got the finals MVP.
He got the
Not
finals
Garnett.
MVP.
He deserved it. Joe, who's your number 4?
Garnett almost made my list, but I'm gonna flip flop both of you two, because my number 4, but I'll start number 3 because my number 4 was McHale for all the things you guys just mentioned, and my number 3 was Paul Pierce, and I will mention this going back to also the Brady what we ended with is Pierce had this stoicism that Brady also had, which is what they brought to the team dynamic, and that cool under pressure sort of like stoicism that they brought every game. It was like a quiet intensity. I think this time around Jaylen Brown's got that sort of thing too, but that one needs to build. But Paul Pierce totally had that.
Who's your number 3, Mark?
My number 3, Chris, is going to surprise you.
Well, let's get to it.
I know it's going to surprise you. My number 3 is John Havlicek.
Just going to say Johnny.
That's my number 3.
Is it really?
That's my number 3. I don't know how it can't be. Sorry,
Havlicek,
Joe.
Chris, I think people don't realize what an athlete he was, Chris. He was also drafted by the Cleveland Browns. He was a
Yeah.
two-sport athlete. Who plays basketball and football in those days? He was drafted by the NFL Cleveland Browns. Okay.
Who was a big-time team then?
Yes, in those days.
Well, because he was
big
from
time
Bridgeport,
team.
Ohio. So yeah, I mean he was getting a
No,
look.
he was, but he was he was that good of an athlete, Chris.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And that
He was
didn't
an
happen
athlete.
then.
It didn't happen in those days, right? And Chris, was probably one of the most durable players in Celtics history. He never missed a game. He played with separated shoulders. He played the entire postseason, Chris, in 73 with a separated shoulder, the entire postseason. He never missed a game and led the team in minutes. He was just a warrior. And I don't know if he was Larry Bird before Larry Bird. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he was as good as Bird, but he was Bird before Bird. He did a lot of the things that Bird eventually took to another level. You know what I mean?
He averaged 20 points a game, 26,000 points, 8,000 rebounds. He averaged 6 a game. He averaged 4.5, 5 assists a game with 6,000 of them. 8-time NBA champion. Okay. He was a finals MVP, 13-time All-Star, NBA All-Second team, 5-time defensive first team, second team. He's all anniversary team for 35th, 50th, 75th. He's retired, obviously, for the Celtics. He's an NCAA champ, too.
Yeah, Ohio State.
We're talking about
yeah.
Celtics. We're talking about
Ohio
Celtics. So,
State, yep.
again, yeah, I'm with you. So, Joe, who's number 3 for you?
I just told you. I started 3 off at Paul Pierce.
3. You told us that. All right. So, listen.
No, the Celtics also had the greatest radio announcer of all time. Johnny Most was
Johnny Most.
In those days, everybody listened to the radio in the 70s and in early in 80s, right? And Johnny Most, one of his most famous calls is Havlicek stole the ball.
Yeah, Havlicek stole the ball. That's another top 5 we can go to someday. Top 5 announcers, sports announcers of all time, too.
Yeah.
You know? That would be a fun one to do. But, hey, but this portion of B's and C's was presented by Corso Law Group. Hey, when we come back, we're going to put our top 2 now, 2 and 1, and I think we probably have a consensus on that. But we'll get to that. Well, we'll see about the order. We'll get to that and more. No flipping.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. Whether it's a traffic ticket or more serious issue, talk with these expert attorneys. CorsoLawGroup.com.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England feel. Okay, top 2 Celtics of all time.
Come on.
Let's get into it. I think it's just going to be about the order here.
Well, does it have to be?
I don't.
Mine's going to be tied for 1 and 2 because.
Stop it, will you?
Oh, Joe.
No, we're not, Joe. We're not going to let you do that. You're going to have to pick.
All right,
that's it.
I will pick.
All right. Well, then, Mark, you go first. Who's number 2?
My number 2 is Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew you guys were going to go off the other charts. Forget it.
But listen. Listen.
You
Larry,
should be ashamed of yourself if you don't have who at number 1. But go ahead.
No, that's why.
Go ahead, Mark.
Bird changed the league. I mean, in regards to what he actually brought, Chris. Everyone talks about Curry and all these guys and the greatest shooter in history of the NBA. And I think people forget about how good of a shooter Larry Bird actually was.
Oh.
You know, and never mind the stats, Chris. You know, he averaged 24 points a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting almost 50% from the floor and almost 38% from the 3-point line, Chris, for his career. In his prime, he had limitless range. He could shoot from anywhere. And you want to talk about trash talker?
Oh, the number 1 in history.
That's the best
part.
part.
You want to talk about trash talking, intensity. You talked about, some of the characteristics Brady has. Bird had them all, right? And I know he's number 2 for you, so I'll let you talk a little bit, Chris, about it.
No, yeah, I mean, for all the things you said, I mean, and you're talking about the accolades. I mean, again, 3-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 3-time most valuable player of the league, 12-time All-Star. I mean, he played. How many years did he play, Mark? 79 to 92.
Yeah,
So,
and Chris, his last 3 or 4 years, he wasn't healthy.
No,
he was hurt.
He had the back problem.
Yeah.
So he played what, 13 seasons?
Yeah.
And 12 of them were All-Stars. NBA All-Star MVP. I mean, again, you rookie of the year, all rookie team. He was a three-time NBA 3-point contest champion. He was the 3-point contest champion ever. Yeah. I don't even want to hear about anybody else. AP Athlete of the Year, and all anniversary team, 75th, 50th. Obviously, his number's retired. He was a National Collegiate Player of the Year in 79. All-American. He's in both the Hall of Fame for college and pro, and he's a gold medal winner.
Dream team.
In the Dream
the greatest team ever assembled, still.
Michael Jordan, okay? Michael Jordan said he was like Jesus out on the court. Like that's probably his, he talks about Bird as if he's the best player in history.
That's
Michael Jordan
why I
does.
have him at 1.
Okay. Because of Michael Jordan?
No, but ideas like that. Yeah. That's part of it.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all you need. He's my green. He's my green. He's my stuff. You know what I mean?
In those days, the NBA wasn't televised like it is now, unfortunately, because I think you had to listen to some of the games on the radio, right? And the games, they were showed locally on cable. We could watch them. But I think nationally, people didn't get to see him as much as you get to see these guys now. So I don't think nationally people realized what he did every single night. Like, people don't get it.
Mark, he would tell people, he would say to the bench, I'm going to get the ball here, and I'm going to hit the shot, and I'm beating you from there. And he would do it every single time. And he would do it every time. I met Larry Bird, okay?
What?
I met Larry Bird. That same guy, friend of mine, that was the ball boy, because I told you he was friends with McHale. One of his closest friends is Larry Bird, okay? And I went up to practice, and this was probably, I don't know, 90 maybe in that, and we went to practice. It was a close practice. We got to be there, and I saw Bird come in, and he was there about 45 minutes to an hour before everybody else, and he went around the 3-point line and just over and over and over, and he didn't miss. And then after practice, he stayed for another hour with Rick Fox. I was feeding him the ball they were having a free throw contest out of 100. Who could hit the most? He didn't miss. It wasn't who could miss the most. It was who could hit the most net, not to hit the rim. Not one. He didn't miss one. I was there. I did it. I threw him the ball. And then I got to meet him, and we sat around on the court. My friend and I and his brother, who was the ball boy, and Larry Bird sat there, and I talked with him for a while. And the most down-to-earth, nicest dude you're ever going to want to meet. I mean, talk about a hick from French Lick. That's him.
That was him, right?
He drove a Bronco. This was who this guy was. And all he wanted to do was play basketball and win. That's it. Yeah. One of the nastiest guys out there, but one of the most generous guys to people who knew him.
Yeah, he was tough. He was something. Let me tell you, he was
But I'll never forget that day that I got to meet Larry Bird.
That's something.
And
I never knew that. That's something.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, again with him, I mean, you can go on and on.
How about the day he was bored and he told the guys before the game, "I'm shooting every shot left-handed."
Left-handed. I mean, come on.
I think Chris, he scored like 50 that night. Shooting left-handed. He said, "I'm not taking a shot with my right hand."
Which is why I understand, but I still don't understand why he's number 2 on your list.
Well, we're going to get to that next.
We're going to get to that right now.
I'll do the segue because Bird's my number 1.
Well, wait, real quick.
Wait, hang on a second.
Wait, I say one more thing about Bird.
Yeah.
One more thing. When they were in the finals, Mark, and they were getting beat, and they looked like crap, nobody else had the eggs to come out in the press and say, we have no heart.
Yeah.
We're playing like we have no heart.
And
They came out and just I
Yep.
thought they were going to put Rambis in the hospital. But go ahead,
Yep.
Joe.
Well, see, you guys have just solidified my number one by all these stories, and Larry Bird's my number one. But I will obviously. This is why I wanted to tie them both. But I'll segue the Mr. Celtics himself and Bill Russell, but he was my number 2 and 1. I mean, the dominance. This guy. All right. Let's put it this way. Bill Russell is the most winningest human being on the planet. He has the most titles of any human. So why he should not be my number 1? Well, you guys all gave the reasons why Bird is my number 1, but it's an obvious 1 and 2 for me. But Bill Russell, I know, is your number 1. So let's hear all the stats.
Go ahead, Mark.
Bill Russell's my number 1, obviously. So here's what. And listen, you can go through all the stats and all the things and how many championships he won, but ultimately, to me, what set Russell apart from Bird was, as the number 1 Celtic, was Bird made basketball popular. Him and Magic brought basketball into the mainstream.
Revived it.
Right? They
Revived
revived it, right? But Russell truly transformed the sport and the way it was played, because he played the game in a different way above the rim. It became from a horizontal game. He made it a vertical game. No one had ever done that before Russell. He was an incredible. I mean, listen, Chamberlain was Chamberlain. He was he was naturally the strongest player you've ever seen in the history of the game, just naturally strong. And he couldn't beat Russell. Russell went toe-to-toe with him. He was 4 inches bigger than Russell, and Russell went toe-to-toe with him and beat him every single time. I mean, Russell was he averaged 22 and a half rebounds for his career a game.
That's
22 and a half
just
rebounds.
insane, man, for a big guy to do consistently like that.
He just changed, Joe. That's the only reason I put him number 1, because he changed the way basketball was played. And I know he was around in the 60s, late 50s and 60s, but he changed the way the game was played. Russell, you know what I mean? That's why the finals MVP award, Joe, is named after Bill Russell.
I know.
Joe, he transcends basketball. I mean, this guy, listen, I have to go down some of this. Obviously, 11-time NBA champion, and as a player coach too, on one of those. Yeah, he won the championship. He played and coached. I mean, 5-time NBA Most Valuable Player, 12-time All-Star, NBA All-Star MVP, 3-time First Team All-NBA, 8-time Second Team, Defensive First Team, NBA Rebounding Champion for 4 years. He's on the All-Anniversary team in history as long as he played. His number 6 is retired by every team in the NBA. Every single team in the NBA retired number 6. So, and he's a collegiate champion too. And to say nothing about he's a Hall of Famer, Mark, as a player and a coach. Okay, how many guys are going to be able to say that? He's an Olympic champion. Okay. And what he was off the court, what he was for and we've talked about that before when he passed. The ambassador that he was for people, for everyone to aspire to be. Mm-hmm. This was Bill Russell. And to me, Bill Russell, next to Jordan, is the number 2 basketball player in history, is Bill Russell.
Yep.
So,
yep. All right.
There it is. There's our top 5 Patriots and Celtics. That was fun, guys. That was fun. Corso,
that was real fun.
So Corso and Catone, stick around. We're going to have more top 5 series coming your way, and so stay tuned for that. But Corso and Catone was presented by Corso Law Group. Make sure you get on. Everything's up for you. Subscribe. Come back Corso and Catone, noon to 1 Eastern on Saturdays. Make sure you give us a call on Heated Hotline. We want to know what you think. Anything you bring to the table, we will always be ready. We are Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. See you next week.
Now find Corso and Catone on AM 790, The Score, iHeartRadio, iTunes, wherever you podcast. Or subscribe to the YouTube channel and catch the chaos every Saturday at noon.